People have always tried to escape government. They've always tried to escape the rulemaking of government. This is why frontier mindset has always been so successful with our uh, race. There are some people who gravitate towards the cities and some people who actually like that, but the real hard-working, innovating people would always just realize that the government was there to tell them that they owed somebody something, and they'd go off and do their own thing wherever they could. And a lot of them just tried to get as far away from the government as possible. That probably is the bottom line to the frontier way of living. Well, there are no longer any frontiers. There may be some really wild places, but there's no way to escape the government, who has now begun to insidiously or otherwise blatantly creep into the lives of the people by controlling the currency, by surveilling them with all kinds of esoteric technology like chemtrail spraying and electromagnetic auras and fields that can see into the earth through your walls, through, and they've made an industry out of this. The military and the police are becoming one. This is quite well documented, and people are being able to see it. Although a lot of violence has decreased since, say, 2000 because of all these drugs that are being sprayed. There's also a genocide taking place, but it's all deniable because these electromagnetic weapons, the radiant arsenal, the biotech being used, is invisible for the most part, and these deaths are attributed. It's like AIDS deaths were largely attributed to pneumonia. And that was that was a test of biotech. AIDS seemed to have been bioengineered from syphilis. At least one of the aspects of it had a lot of similarities to syphilis, and when they started treating it aggressively as syphilis, the mortality rate of the patients went to practically nil. That's when they started introducing other aspects of the biotechnological arsenal and started introducing the radiant arsenal under the guise of cell phones and entertainment and communication and things like that. It is an attack. It's a war on us. Now there are no frontiers. There's nowhere to escape government intervention in your life, and they're making the most of it. These are people that have been able to scam more than their share and are intent on keeping it. And this is the way they play the game. It is a game to them. It's just like football. Okay, that's the way all the wars and everything, it's just a game to them. Of course, they're not down there on the field fighting, they're up in the stands watching and cheering. And that's when people start to realize all this and quit trying to entertain the elite for a few dollars, then maybe America and the world will get their world back, and maybe again we can have frontiers. But right now there's no escaping the government. They have their hooks in you. They have their hooks in your reality. They are pushing the buttons in your brain electromagnetically, chemically, with all kinds of promises of long life and such. But that is exactly the opposite of what is going on. The man who is overseeing Wall Street, which should just be done away with. Wall Street is probably the worst influence this world has ever seen. It allows predators to prey with impunity, and that's the bottom line. Now, the person who is behind the Security and Exchange Commission or investigating various aspects of improprieties at Wall Street has likened this need for insider trading, this need for insider information to a drug, because these people are already in the top 1% of privilege. They have more money than they could ever spend, but they gain and lose more money daily than most people will ever see in their lives, and it becomes a tawdry little soap opera where this information that allows them to trade on the inside is like a drug, and it gives them an edge over their opponents. It's like enhancement drugs used in the Olympics or for learning in college and things like that. It gives them an edge. So no longer is the actual goal to accomplish anything. It's actually to play the game, and just to play the game better than everyone else. And this goes back to my way of thinking that people are in big bodies with bigger goals, and and their bodies mature, but their minds never do, and it's just children in the playground, and it never ends until death.